Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and it's a very interesting period that we are in. I say interesting, of course, it is challenging, but it becomes interesting because our innovative approach comes to play, and whatever limitations we have, we try to do the best, whether we are youngsters or seniors, doesn't matter. And there is an important organization which is serving Indian-American senior community members, so to say senior community members. And the name is India Home. And how India Home is continuing to play its role for seniors would be interesting for all of us to learn. And I have, first of all, going beyond the normal tradition of ladies first, because I have three ladies, and President of India Home, Mukund Mehta ji, welcome. Namaste.
Namaste ji, Namaste ji.
So then I welcome Kavita ji, Kavita Shah joining us. Welcome, Kavita ji.
Namaste, everyone.
And important part of India Home, Sylvia Sikdar joins us. Namaste, Sylvia. Welcome.
Namaste. Thank you very much for having us in this show.
And I have multi-talented Sharanya Pillai joining us. Sharanya, namaste. Welcome.
Hi, thanks so much for having us.
You know, looking at the overall mood that people are in, many people are conducting various activities online. And before we get into the role that India Home has significantly played to energize community members, especially seniors, if I may request Sharanya, she's a great singer. So, Sharanya, you want to begin with just let's say breaking the ice with your song? Any two lines?
That's so funny. I didn't prepare to be singing, but yeah, I can sing. I can sing something really small and quickly to Ganesh to remove the obstacles before we start.
Beautiful.
Gajavadana Karuna Sadana Gajavadana Karuna Sadana Shankara Bala Lambodara Sundara Gajavadana Karuna Sadana Shankara Bala Lambodara Sundara Gajavadana Karuna Sadana. Sorry, there was a background noise in the middle of that.
Sorry, I think I interrupted, but I just thought all of us are clapping, so let me do it loudly. And
thank you so much. I did not expect that.
Mukund, now coming to you with the request that, of course, you are always young, but let's say you understand more about the concerns which seniors have, especially when we are in the middle of lockdown, movement is restricted. Do you see seniors have some additional concerns because of coronavirus oriented crisis that we are facing?
Yes, Ashok ji, because of this lockdown, they are all homebound and they are all kneecapped in their own surroundings. So the time when the corona, this lifting is over, and then they will have a little problem whether to go out now, and if it is to go out, whether what precautions should they take it. And as a result of that, some may be a little afraid to go out immediately once the restrictions are lifted. But I think gradually the people will get accustomed to it, and slowly, I think they will get into the mainstream.
So, talking about going to the mainstream and looking at the way India Home has made a kind of ever-growing family of seniors. Sylvia, talk to me about what you find most exciting about being a part of India Home, and continuing with what Mukundji was mentioning. How do you see the role that India Home continued to play in spite of the lockdown?
Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to talk about what is the best part of this organization. The best part is we are in the community and we are serving the seniors like personally myself, my parents are in back home in Bangladesh. So when I speak to these seniors, I feel like affiliated. Like these are my family. It's not like I'm talking to someone else. It's not the thing that we are doing something for, like for our job purpose. Rather, we are serving the seniors for their health and well-being. And truly speaking, in this pandemic, like what Mukunji already mentioned, like it's really tough for our seniors. It was not that easy for to cope up this situation, but all our staff and like board's effort, like we try to do something new for our seniors, and we transitioned all our programming into the virtual world. And then the regular senior center programmings we have, like like we have 4 senior centers in different areas of Queens. So senior center means like seniors used to come there to have participate all these activities, coming there in person. But like what was the purpose for this India home? Make them socially, because they have isolation, social isolation. So we would like to make them be socially connected with other seniors and with everyone, so that they have some places to go, have their own time to do some fun activities, right? They don't need to like just think of like, hey, I'm older enough and I really don't have to do anything. They have like retired means like they have more time to do some fun activities. And this pandemic, like some way it's just give us some negativity, but the positive thing happened. We are innovative and we try to implement all the programmings what we used to do in real, like in-person settings. We are doing everything similar in a virtual way. And my colleagues can give more explanation and how we are running these programs. And trust me, Ashokji, our seniors are really enjoying, and like we have more connectivity with our seniors now. Maybe in the 3 or 4 senior centers, we used to have 200, 300 seniors on a weekly basis coming in. But now we are connected with like almost like more than 1,000 seniors on a regular basis, with our regular wellness checkup phone calls, with our virtual activities, with our case management services. We're connecting with their family members. So it's more connection happen.
Wonderful. So Sylvia, I'm so excited to learn more about how all this is working out, because in general we have an impression in our mind that seniors are not computer savvy and they are hesitant and all that. So Kavita ji, talk to me how all this started, because initially they were probably must have been reluctant or finding their way to Zoom.
Okay, that's actually, very rewarding to see how our seniors are very savvy. So once I found out that a lot of other organizations were doing online yoga classes, so I asked my husband, like, you know what, I want to do something with my seniors. So what can I do? So he suggested try Zoom. So over the weekend, he just showed me I went to the website. I have one Usha Mehta auntie. She's pretty like, younger and computer phone savvy. So I tried with her and I said, auntie, try downloading this app and see if we can do. And it started with her. On first weekend, we had a trial. I had 10 seniors that tried Zooming with us. And now I have up to 60 to 70 seniors that come on a regular basis. They're finding resources. They're going to their neighbor kids. They're trying to call their kids. They are, finding all ways to join the Zoom program. And they keep hearing from other counterparts that Kavita is doing Zoom program, and now we're doing it all 5 days. The best part about this, I get to see them all 5 days. And that's the best part about it.
So I'm sure one thing which they are missing is probably when you are together, the physical proximity of one another makes you extra happy, and there is some food that you share with each other, and that adds. But leaving that part aside, Sharanya, how you see this new phase in terms of the opportunity as well as the limitations that personally you feel restricts you in offering what you are used to offering from India Home?
Yeah, I think that, there's always some kind of silver lining we have to see, right? Like in such a bleak situation, we've lost some of our own community members, which has been, we're all like mourning that as is. It's, the communities we work with specifically are seniors, so they're hard hit by this pandemic. And so it's not easy work that our staff, is involved in, but in a way, this is something we've kind of realized, like our potential and how much we're able to offer despite being in such a terrible pandemic. We're able to also like be able to expand our reach. As Kavita said, the numbers keep on increasing by the day, right? And I think there's some kind of positive thing to take away from that, in that we're able to see how much we're capable of to be able to provide services and to still reduce social isolation, which is the core of what we want to do, but from the safety of our home. So, there's definitely the negatives, but I think that this has been like a huge learning experience for all of us as well, and also for us to see our potential. So in that way, it has been nice.
So seeing our potential means facing the way it is. And in that context, Mukundji, the reference which Kavita, which Sharanya just brought to our attention is, whether you are a senior or a junior, whatever be the age, all of us are scared of dying actually. Nobody wants to go away. Life is so precious. And when that idea is lurking somewhere, that fear, how you overcome that and be in the moment and enjoy. So Mukunji, have you faced that with some of the seniors, whether through India Home or others? And in general, what is your take on staying upbeat in spite of additional vulnerability which is brought to our doorsteps by coronavirus?
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Ashok. Before I answer that question, let me just tell you that these three wonderful members of our organization are doing extraordinary work for the India Home. They don't only just, their job is not 9 to 5, but they are busy right from morning, evening, night, and weekends. So the entire show of India Home depends upon these wonderful staff members. So I really congratulate them in the beginning, and that is under the supervision of our executive director, Dr. Vasundhara Kolaspady, who is a geriatric psychiatrist. Okay, now coming to your point about the fear of a death, I think that is inevitable for everybody. But I think under the circumstances, when they think that this particular COVID will have very, very bad impact on them, and they always are worried on that point, and they try to see how they can overcome. And in order that we don't want to keep them in isolation and to keep them thinking in that term, negative aspect. No, we try to infuse positive aspects in their life so that they just forget about this COVID matter. And from every week, there are some programs going on. They get involved into the activities, and that's how they become more energetic physically and mentally.
So being energetic physically and mentally is very, very important, and that I think poses an extra challenge for coming up with programs where they feel involved and looking at the talents that they have. So each one of you is uniquely poised to learn and to offer your distinct input based on your observation and your understanding. So I would begin with you, Sharanya, once again. In terms of your interaction with senior community members, what do you see that they want to offer to the community? Because each one has some unique gifts, and with experience it grows. So in general, what has been your observation?
Yeah, so I don't specifically do programming with the seniors. I'm more of the behind the scenes, but I know from what I've heard, and I'm sure Kavita and Sylvia can elaborate more, since they're on the programming side. They're happy to see each other's faces, just to be able to be able to interact with the people that they're used to seeing every week, and to even hear our programming staff's voices, like they just like light up. And I've heard that they spend a lot more time, you know, on the phone and don't want to hang up, because it's such a crucial part of their lives, the services that you know, that these guys provide. And I'd love to hand it over to Kavita and Sylvia, who could give more information on that.
Yeah, so I'll move towards Sylvia first. And Sylvia, you mentioned about Bangladesh, you mentioned about finding some resemblance with your own parents while you work with seniors. So there is always this sense of belongingness that is key for us as human. And in that context, this virtual world, uh, it takes away something, yet it gives something. As Sharanya mentioned, seeing each other's face makes them happy. So you probably have worked with Kavita in coming up with some programs whereby they feel more involved. Talk to me about the most satisfying event which virtually was organized by you.
So our virtual session mostly is taken care by Kavita, but what I'm doing currently, I'm just like doing ESL classes and citizenship preparation classes. It's mostly one-on-one kind of thing. So when I started, like, you know, like it's word of mouth, like it spread it so fast. So one senior just heard like, okay, Sylvia is offering that class. So other seniors wanted to join, but it's not that easy to bring them into that same pages, because, you know, like to get into the Zoom sessions, they have to be like tech savvy. Either they have to have some laptop, tab, or phone. So it needs a lot of coordination. But at the end of the day, like when I have like 3-4 seniors coming in for that classes, I see the, like, you know, like the happiness on their faces to see us and to see each other's face. You know, like they're taking the class, but at the same time, they're having some interaction with each other. How are you doing? How's been thing going on? So that's the best part, you know.
But now, Kavita ji, going towards your smile, and looks like you have been more actively working with Zoom sessions. So, the question again, the most satisfying day which we recently celebrated was Mother's Day. How did it go with them? Talk to us
Okay.
about that.
Absolutely. So first of all, as Sylvia had mentioned, for all my meetings, I ask them to come 10 minutes early, because they need that 10 minutes to say Jai Shri Krishna to each other. They love that aspect. I will send you next time that video of just the Jai Shri Krishna going on between each one of them. And they always want to get my attention. Kavita, Jai Shri Krishna, Kavita, Jai Shri Krishna. And my day is made.
બધાને જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. હેપી મધર્સ ડે ટુ ઓલ મધર. માં તે માં બીજા વગડા નવા, એની તુલના કોઈ સાથે ન કરી શકાય.
So, you know, seniors, I live with 2 seniors. My in-laws are with me since I got married. 25 years they've been with me. So I think that way I'm fortunate to know what seniors like and dislike, and how to live around seniors. First thing, they like to be heard. You have to listen to them.
बाकी माँ में 24 घंटे वो जागरूक रहती है, रात को सोती भी नहीं है, और उसका प्यार इतना ज्यादा होता, मैं बोलती भगवान भी उसके पास से झुक जाते हैं, भगवान भी उसके पास माँ के आगे, एक माँ के आगे झुक जाती है.
Always, seniors love to share their experience. They love to talk. And if you are there to listen to them, that's it. You know, half of your work is done. So I always try to see that I try to have each one of my senior to participate in any programs that I had. So for example, when we had Mother's Day, I make phone calls to everyone. I tell them what will they be performing. And a lot of these seniors have come out of their shell and shown all these different talents that they have, that they've never done anything like that before in their life. So, you know, it's very rewarding for me to see them come out of their shell and do things. So it's really, really very satisfying. And I also do art class, because as you see all these artwork I mentioned. So when I do the art class with them, and I have this uncle who has never done any artwork, and we were doing Madhubani art, and he came out with this amazing artwork. So there you go. It's like all these hidden talents are coming out of them.
So just to clarify, you are conducting art classes online, and they are painting
Yes,
with colors.
yes, drawing. Yes,
Wow.
absolutely. Yes, yes.
So that is wonderful. Mukunji, coming to you, she mentioned that seniors want to be heard. I think that is true for all human beings. All of us want to be heard. If I am speaking and you are not listening, then it would put a little bit of dark cloud around me. And I think partly that is true. But do you see that as a very special need of seniors, that they don't have people who would pay attention to them, who would listen to them? Is that the case, Mukunji?
Yes, I think so, because what happens is that seniors who are living in homes along with their grown-up children who have their own families again, in that case, I think their children are all busy with their families. So there is hardly any time that they can devote to their parents to talk to. And that's why there is always a gap and they stay isolated. So they always look for the opportunities. For example, I know personally that when I go to Parker Jewish Institute as a volunteer and all the seniors are lying in the beds, you won't believe, Ashokji, some of them say that their children have not come here for days and some in case of weeks. So when I go and talk to them, they get so much elated and they really start speaking out their heart. So I think it is always better for us to communicate with our seniors and make them speak what is in their mind, and we get a lot of information, because after all, seniors have the library and reservoir of knowledge, which has to be unfolded if it is given an opportunity.
Absolutely. And I think in next session we'll try to touch some of the stories. I think you also initiated a project with seniors whereby they shared their special memories or experiences. We'll talk about that in next session. But Sharanya, being in a position where you could extend some structural help in making this beautiful communication, this meaningful dialogue happen, it is rewarding and it has its own challenges. So let us hear challenges that you feel India Home is facing, or you realize that it is not that easy as it appears once it takes off. Like we are talking about Zoom sessions and all those things. So behind the scenes, what is the story, Sharanya?
Yeah, definitely. I think that well, also like in terms of being on the scenes, there is a good amount of seniors who still have the barrier. The digital divide is real for some. You know, if you don't have a smartphone, if you don't have that access, you know, it's not the same case. We're a very diverse population, the South Asia population. So in that sense, making sure that all seniors have access to this kind of programming and to not be isolated, that's one thing. And in terms of as an organization, definitely, and this will, you know, oftentimes you'll hear us say that this is the case, but funding is definitely something that we are in need of. When we have such a huge pandemic, you know, we've been blessed with a grant from NYCT to be able to provide relief, but the amount of services that we do, they're really holistic and they address every point of life, whether it's yoga, meditation, your physical health, whether it's your social health and being connected, your creativity, or whether it's meals, groceries. We're addressing so many different aspects of life, and the funds to be able to sustain this for who knows how long this pandemic is going to last, and especially for seniors, even if the quarantine ends, we don't want to bring them out and put them in a bad situation in the foreseeable future until we know that it's actually safe to gather. So we don't see that happening very soon. So in the meantime, we need the support from the community and for people to realize the importance of the services that we provide and how it's really urgent right now that we need people's support in that way.
Specifically with seniors have special needs, and we just do make some arrangement for that specific seniors, one-on-one coaching, like we used to do it in person, as it's not happening anymore. So we are doing it in the Zoom session. And besides that, the seniors are asking, like, Sylvia, can you please do it one-on-one phone call? So we have to go with the phone call. Like we have a care coordinator, like who also assists us in the case management. So he can also do the one-on-one phone call with the seniors. Just go with the 100 questionnaires. Let me just show you something. Like this is the book that we have, like given to all our seniors. It has all the 100 questionnaires. And the funny thing, we just don't ask them to go with these 100 questions. We start with them like, do you know like which country you are living in? Do you know who's the president? Do you know what's the party of that? So we like to get the information from them. And then I'm just going with them like, it's 100 questions. You already know 5 of them. So 95 more to go. So that's how we are trying. And
I think that's a beautiful way
thank
Zulka,
you.
of connecting with them and keeping it interesting, a little bit entertaining also, if I may say. So, Kavita ji, what was the most memorable moment of the Mother's Day celebration online?
So the most memorable day was I have some of our older aunties that coming out and singing songs. I also have one of our auntie Usha Mehta, and she spoke beautifully about mother. And in lot of, and also one of the requirement for Mother's Day for me was I had asked each one of them to dress up and come. And they all loved that, because in these days, everybody is sitting in their pajamas. So when I asked them, none of you guys, everyone has to dress up, we have to feel festive. So I think they all loved it.
Yes,
So
yes, so I think looking at the time limitation, and we'll share some of the clips, but I just wanted to jump in to mention that when you work from home office and you are all dressed up, then you also put whatever cologne you use, you feel good. So,
yes,
so
yes,
that is
absolutely.
true. And we started with Mukundji, so we'll conclude with Mukundji. In terms of the role that India Home has significantly continued to play during this COVID-19 generated challenging phase that we have, I can see why you were thanking Sylvia, Sharanya, and Kavita. But in addition to that, anything you would like to add on behalf of India Home as we move towards the concluding part of today's session?
Just to say that how India Home started, because many people may not be knowing what was the birth about India Home. Actually, there were the 3 professional or health professional who had their problem in the family member having some mental degeneration. So they thought that this may be pervasive in other families also. And if the seniors are kept in isolation, the problem will be exaggerated and it will get more and more severe. So they formed in 2007 India Home. It was just 3 people who decided, and now it has mushroomed into a big banyan tree having so many other branches, and at least 4 branches in different parts of Queens, and hundreds of seniors join them. And it is not only limited to Indian population, but it's open to South Asian and Bangladeshi, and other Nepalis are there. So it has become somewhat of a unique organization where people meet, greet, mingle, and enjoy with their peers, and they enjoy the local food and halal food and a Jain food and a vegetarian food. So they feel they are at their own home.
Wonderful. So we are at our own home, forced to be at our own home these days, but connecting it with India Home, which is still like a home, uh, giving some tangible emotional bridges, thanks to dedicated team that is backbone of India Home. Once again, thanking Kavita ji, thanking Sharanya ji, thanking Sylvia ji, and of course thanking Mukund ji. And we'll have more sessions, and we'll try to learn where we can work together and move forward. But what I heard from Mukund ji reminded me of this Urdu couplet कि मैं अकेला ही चला था जानिबे मंजिल मगर लोग साथ आते गए और कारवां बनता गया. तो हम सब इस कारवां में साथ साथ चलें आगे उस मंजिल की तरफ जहाँ सबके लिए कोई गम भी ना हो, आंसू भी ना हो, बस प्यार ही प्यार पले। तो बहुत सारे प्यार के
वाह
साथ अशोक व्यास को
वाह, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड।